Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Awesome Build, where today we're going to be prepping for the Wonder Woman review. Now, there's going to be a lot of stuff for this review. There's a lot of costumes and stuff like that, some props. Doug sent me a list, and it's pretty long. A lot of stuff is things that are things that I think I can either obtain or that I have and I can kind of alter and stuff like that. But there is a lot of stuff to make and to build, or at least alter. So let's take a look at the list and see what we gotta do. All right, so here's Doug's list. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So we have either swords or spears for the Amazons, Wonder Woman costume including sword, shield, and lasso, as well as the dark cloak she uses to cover her costume in the movie when she's walking around. Steve Trevor costume for Malcolm, preferably no green because it's going to be green screen. Bright DC sucks letters written on the butt of a pair of jeans. I'll bring in the jeans. Fishing pole, 2 strands of fishing line or monofilament. At the end of one, small sign that reads anti-feminist. And at the end of the other one that reads anti-man. Social justice Peck costume for Rob, which he'll probably bring in. I think it's just a suit. Peck's assistant outfit for Heather, which again, she should bring in. The Meninist clothes for Jim, Jason, and Malcolm, which are basically just t-shirts and wigs and stuff. So, young Diana clothes for Tamara. Amazon Queen costume for Ayanna. Amazon Ant for for Heather. Amazon clothes for adult Diana. If we have time, a cave background for when young Diana is going to sleep. A picture book with a cover that reads Mother Goose Vengeful Gods. The Batman outfit for Doug. Superman outfit for Rob Scallion. Spray bottle of water for Tamara and Malcolm to spray them down to look like they just came out of the sea. Amazon outfit for Malcolm. German soldier clothes for Jim and Doug. Cutout boat, if we still have it, from the Phantom review. If not, no problem. I think I have it. It's not completely assembled anymore, but still kind of exists, so maybe. General Ludendorff costume and wig for Rob. Sir Patrick costume, wig, and mustache for Doug. Soldier outfits similar to Samir for Jim, Charlie for Malcolm, and the Chief for Doug. 2 pills for Rob to swallow. Jelly beans might work. Ares suit of armor for Doug. And a slice of cake. All right, well, that's about it. Fortunately, Tamara's going to handle all of the Diana costumes. And another thing he didn't mention in here, which he had talked to me before about, was the God Killer sword. Basically the sword and then just the hilt, because she stabs him and the sword disappears. So majority of the costumes I think we can build with stuff in-house. However, we're going to be shooting on Tuesday. It's supposed to be 100 degrees that day. So it's going to be very warm in here. So in the studio itself, we don't have any air conditioning or anything like that. So it gets pretty warm in here when we're filming in the summertime, especially if it's 100 degrees. So I'm assuming it's going to be a long day. We're probably going to have to take lots of breaks. All right, well, let's get cracking. It's a lot of stuff. So Barney's going to come in and give me a hand. He's going to handle things like the book cover and any of the graphics and stuff like that. And I'm going to see if he'll do the general costume. So Barney said he had a shirt or an option that he thought would work, and he's going to come in with that and some ideas and stuff like that. So that should be cool, because that'll be one thing off my plate I don't have to worry about. So I'm going to start working on Ayanna's costume and Heather's costume. All right, well, let's get cracking. There's a lot of stuff to do. All right, Barney, so it looks fantastic. Why don't you kind of walk us through the process of how you threw it all together?
Okay, couldn't find a jacket. No German one to give theirs up. So I took, this is actually an old gray shirt of mine that happens to fit Rob. One of the important things in doing any costume is to make sure that they're going to fit on your actor. Everything that's on here, with the exception of these medals here, was printed off the internet, looking up under German World War I medals. I then blew them up to the size that we needed, mounted on board the cross because it's going to be going on and off, the epaulets and these things here on the side. So we have all these, they're all glued on. Took some regular old, some red tape, electrical tape, and ran the edges here and then folded it under to give it this nice feel like this. Found a belt back in our bunch there, put this on. Jim came with these that he got at a costume store. So the big question is, when Rob comes in tomorrow, is he going to fit into it?
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Is the now like all the printout and stuff like that? These are like great resolution.
Yeah, these are. What I do is that when I take them off the net, I take it to the best resolution I can get. I put it on a white sheet of paper under Word, and what I do, this is really a sort of a sneaky thing to do, on my monitor, I increase the size of the image until it totally matches a real piece of paper held up there.
Oh, yeah.
Then I know exactly what size these are going to come out. Then I simply mess with them, print them out, and away we go.
Yeah, sweet. From a distance, especially this one, because it's got the board behind it. I mean, that looks legit. I mean, that looks like...
And then there were also things we did. For instance, this was, the actual cross was laying on a piece of red material. So I left a little bit of red on it because I knew that it would match up with this. So we sort of add little things to it to try and make it look a little more authentic.
No, it looks great. It really makes it pop. And,
yeah.
Yeah. Great work, Barney. This looks
Thank
fantastic.
You much.
Fantastic.
Make sure to watch the actual review of Wonder Woman. You'll see what it looks like in use.
Right. All right, so for Heather's costume, most of it was stuff I kind of had or could pick up really quick. I had this top. It's the same one the same style that I used for Tamara's original Wonder Woman costume. I think we first used it in the Hocus Pocus review for Beth. She wore it, and I had done it in a brown. I dusted it. It comes in black. And I dusted it with a brown spray paint so that it would kind of give the look of like a tarnished leather. And then I wound up painting it red for the Wonder Woman costume when we had to make the first incarnation of the Wonder Woman costume for Tamara. Last season I picked up another one of these tops, and so now I just threw another dusting kind of a light brown to kind of give it that leathery kind of quality. And then I've got some leather bracers and kind of like generic gladiator belt and some shin guards, and that's pretty much it. I've got some leather belts and stuff like that I can strap across her, and that should probably do it. As you saw, the headpiece I just cut out of a piece of craft foam. I really didn't measure anything. I just kind of eyeballed it real quick based on an image that I had online of the actual headpiece, and then with thinner pieces of craft foam I just cut out these different strips, hot glued them on, and quick paint job, and and we're good to go. All right, so this is Doug's Ares costume. He said he kind of wanted to look like Sauron from The Lord of the Rings, very spiky, just dark armor. So I reused a lot of parts. There's the Shredder's gauntlets and stuff, and shoulder pieces, and then the arm pieces are left over from one of the witch's guards from The Wizard of Oz. The helmet, again, is the Spartan helmet with some horns just glued onto it. I threw some texturing on it, and yeah, the lower half I'm not really sure. I still have to probably throw some stuff together. Just have to have some kind of like a tunic or something like that and he'll wear probably dark clothes underneath. So it should be a very uncomfortable costume. All right, well, that about wraps up this episode. But I just want to say thanks again to Barney for all of his hard work, and everything that he did really helped out this episode. I thought the work he did on Rob's costume for the General was awesome. It came out beautiful. And all of the graphics and stuff that he did for the book and everything, everything just came together really nicely. So thank you so much, Barney, once again. And to you guys at home, thanks so much for watching and tuning in. I'm going to try and have some more episodes coming up soon. But you guys rock. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook at Jim J. Roz. I hope this inspires you guys to build things and make things and do cool stuff. So once again, thanks so much for tuning in. You guys rock. See you next time.